Hello everybody and welcome to the definitive guide for all of Gundams. Now I will go over the boxes and their sizes. I'll be going over the SD kits, the high grade kits, the real grade kits, the master grade kits, the perfect grade, and the mega size kits. So, in that order. So, and then I'll go over the weapons and shields, and not the beam effect parts, because those ones are pretty not really important. And I will go over, then I'll line up all the kits, so then you can actually see the difference between an SD, a high grade, a real grade, a master grade, a perfect grade, and a mega size. So, without any further ado, let's start to go over the boxes here. So this is a little SD box here. So the length, the width is about 6 inches. The height, about 8.5 inches. So as you can see, they're pretty basic. And for us North Americans, we usually get these two stickers here. You can peel them off. I've done it on a few kits. Just go really slow and have like an alcohol wipe or something to get the goo off of it without damaging the box. And the depth here is about 2 inches. So leave this one here for a moment. So the one behind it, this is a high grade kit. As you can see, they're about the same height, so about 8 inches I want to say it was. Yes, 8 inches. So from here to here is about 8 inches. The length is about 12 inches or so. And the depth is about 3.5 inches. So let me just put my tape measure down for a second here. So this is the front. As you can see, it's a little bit less standard, but because it has the head base on it, in it. So that's one side. That's the other side. So, and there's nothing on the bottom of these boxes either. So that's pretty well a high grade box. Usually they're a little bit smaller, but it all depends on the kit. Like I have a master grade box that's pretty well a perfect grade size box by the Sazabi. If you've heard of it, it's pretty well a perfect grade size box, almost a perfect grade kit, I would say. But anyways, that's a high grade. Now moving on to one of the newer kits that Bandai's come out with is the real grade line. Now the real grade line, it's probably about 7.5 inches tall, about a foot long, and more like 3 inches in depth. Just get the high grade box out of the way. So this is a little bit of a special box, as it is in unicorn mode. Oh yeah, and about that base, this is it. Go watch my RX0 real grade on final build on that. You'll learn a very hard lesson that I had to learn. So yeah. Anyways, back to this one. Did I remove the stickers? Yes, I did. So I removed the stickers off of this box. So that's one side. And just as a note, they do have Japanese and the English on the bottom of it, translated. So this is a newer kit. Now normally you would see the destroy mode on the front. That's kind of the image of the head there, you'll see. That's the back. And then that's the, as you can see, it's the 25th in the line, but it's a special edition. So and on real grade kits, they have this nice glossy back finish. Just open it up. And it has a whole bunch of advertisements and all that kind of stuff all along each side here. Sorry, the bag's kind of getting in the way there. Just more about advertisements and all that kind of stuff. About other kits in the Unicorn lineup. So, for the Master Grade, Perfect Grade, and Mega Size I will have to move my camera as they are just that big. So I'll be right back after I do that. So I moved my camera so I can show you this. That right there is the Master Grade box for the Gundam Unicorn. It is, I'm doing this quite a bit of ways, so about 12 1/3 inches in width, and the height is about 15.5 inches tall. So this is the kit that you will be seeing later on. Actually, the depth in here. Close it up. It's about 4 1/3 inches tall. It's a really nice kit, as you will see in a bit. And as you can see with the Master Grades, they have a little bit different artwork. I took off the stickers on this one. Have better artwork and stuff on it. But nothing on the bottom or sides. Sorry about that squeak there, but that was plastic moving on the inside, rubbing against each other. So that's master grade. Normally I would go real grade next, but this time I'm going to do high grade. Sorry about bumping the camera there. Then there's the real grade. And then there's the SD. And just while we have this kind of here, the cheapest is going to be the SD, which the recommended retail price is about 600 yen. It's the cheapest, it's the smallest, and it's the most simple to put together. Then high grade. This is going to be a little bit more than the normal high grade because of the base. But the recommended retail price is not on it. So, and I forget how much I actually paid for it. Anyways, the real grade, the special edition real grade, is about 3,800 yen as the recommended retail price. The master grade titanium finish, so it's going to be a little bit more, is about 12,000 yen. So I usually divide it by 10, so if you were to get it for the recommended retail price, which you never do, usually, you very rarely do, so it would be about 120 for the master grade. For the real grade, it's going to be about $38, which I know I paid more than that. For the SD, it's about $6, but come on, realistically, you'll be paying about $12 to $20 ish for each one. So that's all of those ones, but that doesn't include the mega size or the perfect grade. Perfect grade is always going to be more expensive than any other kit, no matter what. This kit especially. The perfect grade one is 20,000 yen, so about $200, which I know I paid a lot more than that for this kit. But anyways, let me show you the box. The box is massive. So that is the Unicorn Gundam's perfect grade box, which was absolutely chock full of stuff. Right after I find my measuring tape, I'll tell you. So, I'm going to have to bring it in closer. But it's about 23 inches length, and the height is about 16 inches, and the depth is about 7 inches. But as you can see, this is very fancy. The V-fin has some shiny stuff. All the red cycle frame and the eyes are a little bit shiny as well. This is the top here. Gives you an idea. As it has a handle on it. There's one side. And yes, the Perfect Grade does transform into 3 modes actually. It's very unique. And there's the back with the Anaheim the Vis Foundation or Anaheim Electronic Vis Foundation symbol on it. And I can say right now that the mega size is the exact same size as this one. That right there is the mega size box. It has the exact same dimensions as the Perfect Grade box, just because of how big it is. And believe me, it is massive. So let's look at each part. Sorry, I'm having to find the camera a little bit, but so there's one side of it. Kind of goes over some of the details about mega size kits. That's one end, and as you can see, the height of it is 452 millimeters, which is 45.2 centimeters, which is around 17 2/3 inches, or 3/4 inches. I know, something like that. There's the other side there, going over a bit more detail. And there's the other final side. So there's mega size slash Perfect Grade size box. Actually, on here, the mega size retail price is 10,000 yen, so approximately half the price of a Perfect Grade. There's the Master Grade box there. Here's the Real Grade box. Here's the High Grade box. And here, that is the SD. So, pretty well, that is all the boxes that you can see for the Gundam Unicorn. Now let me go move the camera back and we'll go over the manuals, the shields and beam rifles, and start on some of the kits. So I'll be right back in a minute. Okay, so now that I have you guys back here, it's important to note that in destroy mode, the Gundam Unicorn, its size is 21.7 meters tall. That would be a 1-to-1 scale. So, just to give you guys an idea, I have no idea about how many stories or anything like that, but it's really, really tall. Now, in my perfect world, I would be doing this out front of the 1-to-1 scale. Sorry about that, the phone rang there. So, this is I'll go over the manuals next. So this is the little SD manual here. As you can see, it's not really a manual, it's just more of a sheet. Color guide in the middle. Not much color on it. So that's a little SD manual there. And it is, I'll line it up here, about 7.5 inches this way and about 5 inches this way. So, in this board, this from the very dark line up here is 12 inches. This is the 6-inch mark. So, where did my high grade go? There it is. So here is the high grade one. As you can see, it's more like 7 inches all along here. See, it's not very thick at all. Again, it's more like a sheet. It's all on one. It's not actually a booklet. In the middle here, you have a little bit of color. But that's pretty well all the color that you'll get out of not a real grade, high grade. So I'll put, so that's the difference between a high grade and an SD. Not much, just this is a little bit taller and a little bit bigger. That's about it. Next, we'll move on to the real grade. Now, real grade is where you start to actually get a booklet, like an actual booklet. That's the same size, exact same size as the high grade. But you can see it's a bit thicker. And it has more color in it. With a marking sheet on the back. The marking sheet for the high grade is nowhere because it doesn't have any markings. Forgot. So that's the real grade there. You can kind of see that there's a bit more color and all that kind of stuff. There's always an information sheet. But inside this one is not translated at all. So it gives you more information about the NTD, cycle frame, all that kind of stuff. So that's that one. master grade. It's the exact same size. Little bit thinner. Not quite as much color, but you do get the middle sheet, info sheets. And a marking sheet is either on the very back page here or just on the inside. And it's usually not in color. So that's the master grade. Now you'll notice a big step up here for the perfect grade. Don't know if you can even see the. There, I'm laying it on its side. So for this, the size is about 8.5 inches by about 4 1/3 inches. But you'll notice, like this is really nice paper in here. A lot more color. A lot more detail. As you can see here, there's a ton of runners. Little extra information bits. Now this is very unique as it has the transformation guide in here, and it also has the deconstruction guide. If, for example, like me, I decided I built it. This was actually my second ever Gundam. I built it. Then later on I got the light kit for it, so I had to disassemble it, and this guide was really good for that. And then I had to put it back all together while putting in that light kit for it. I'll talk about gimmicks and stuff like that when I do the comparison between most of the grades. And there's a bit more color here, and then the big sticker guide. I think the only ones that are bigger are Verkas. Let's see, here's a Verka with its massive sheet of stickers and stuff. Of water slide decals, actually. These are water slide decals. Now that's a note that I want to make right now. Is out of all these kits, you can get the water slide decals separately, but the perfect grade, I really believe, because you're paying, I wouldn't mind paying extra even for the base kit to get water slide decals included with it, which would have been really nice. But they only include stickers for the SD, high grade, real grade, master grade, perfect grade. They include it all except for some master grades. For the Verka kits have water slide decals. You'll very, very rarely get a kit that does have water slide decals just normally. And the Mega Size kits. The Mega Size kit does come with water slide decals, which they only have about 4 of them, I believe. 4 complete kits. So this is the Mega Size one here. As you can see, we go back to like a master grade size. of instruction manual, but it is all in color, which is really nice. It does give you a few extra, it gives you tips and stuff like that, so this is really beginner friendly. And this one in particular does come with translation underneath all the Japanese. And I will make a note of saying this right now. You do not need to know Japanese to build one of these things. I don't know. I know very, very, very little. I know only 10 words or something like that in Japanese. So, like for a kit like the Perfect Grade here. Remember, this is my second kit ever. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of stuff here in Japanese. Did I need to know Japanese at all? No. If you really want to, I would recommend getting the Google Translate app on your device. Just use that for special areas that you don't recognize. Like now I know that, let me see if I can grab it on this other page here, that this means undergated here and here. That's pretty well all that means. So next, let me just put all these away here quickly. Next, I will go over all the weapons, or the shield and the beam rifle of each one. Just move that back a little bit so then you guys can see more of it. So this right here, it's a little SD beam rifle. It's only about 2 1/3 inches long. And only about, so it's about 2 1/3 inches from here to here. And it's only about 1/2 inch to 1/3 of an inch this way. As you can see, it's molded in one color. And it has no moving parts at all. It was just one single part. But it does have a weird gimmick where it can attach onto other things, which I don't really get that, but anyways, you can morph it and stuff like that. I'm just staying away from it. So that's a little super deformed. Now the high grade one here was 3 pieces. I just have his hand attached because I usually display him with it on it. As you can see here, if I put it the same way, it's quite a bit bigger than the SD. This was actually 3 parts, but again, there's only one moving part, which is right here. That's the only moving part. So that's the high grade. Now we get to get into a little bit more fancier with the real grade. So this is the real grade one. Actually, forgot to measure the high grade. High grade one's length is about 3.5 inches. So that's about 3.5 inches. The real grade should be 3.5 inches. Now the only one that doesn't really have a scale is an SD, but high grade, real grade are 1/44th. So that means 1 centimeter or 1 inch equals 144 in the 1:1 scale. And the master grades are 1/100th scale, so a little bit bigger. The perfect grades are 1/60th. So if you were to take 60 of them, you would get one perfect grade. I mean, no, one real life scale, so 1:1 scale. And the mega size is actually a 1/48th scale. So it is 48 of them equals the 1:1 scale of the 1:1 scale. So just to get that out of the way. So the SD is the only one that doesn't truly have a scale. You'll see why once you see the kit. And so this is the real grade. So it does have a couple more moving parts. Has this part here. And it does separate. And the ammo can come out. This one has actually bent a bit. I'm just looking at its side here because of the story. That it has. Now, no matter what, you have to be careful with the kit. No matter what, you have to be careful with each and every kit. So, let me see here. Here is the master grade here. So you can see here, there's a few more parts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, I forgot this part here. It's supposed to fold down. So this is the master grade. See a little bit of a color separation here. There's 3 colors. This one's length is about 5 1/3 inches. So all the ammo is the correct color. There's more detail, a little bit more detail. Just a little bit bigger and a little bit better overall. Next, we have the perfect grade. So this is the perfect grade size. Here, it's absolutely massive. It has the same gimmick as the master grade, where the ammo can come out. Same as the real grade. But you can see there's a lot more parts to it. Like there's 2 parts here. And then there's more parts all over the place. It's a lot more detailed of a kit. Now let me just see where we're at. Oh, we can move you guys way down here. Let me grab the mega size. So this one right here is the mega size. This is approximately 11 1/3 inches or so. But you'll notice that we've actually gone down in the grade line. Where only this part and this part moves, and it's all molded in one color. But you can say it's still really impressive. So that's all of the beam rifles. Let me just give him his hand back. There we go. So that's all of the grades. And differences between, you'll start to notice some of the differences between each one with the gimmicks and stuff like that. So this shield here is in destroy mode. It's the SD's one. I haven't panel lined it at all because I actually ran out at that time. But it's about 2.5 inches tall. It doesn't really do anything except for look pretty. Here, I'll go this way. Can you guys see way over here? Yes, you guys can. Good. So that is the SD. Just grab up the high grade. You high grade? Yeah, you're high grade. So this is the high grade version of it. It is 4 inches, around 4 inches long. It doesn't really have much gimmick at all. It doesn't transform or anything like that. Just a little bit bigger and more part separation, because this was all one piece. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pieces. So a little bit better. Now we get into the real grade. So the exact same size, which was about 4 inches, I want to say. This one does have the transformation gimmick. Which is really nice. Has more parts on the back here. And it's just more detailed and everything. Even with a shield like this, you can't really get too much detailed. Now this is for my master grade titanium finish, which is the one that I will be showing you guys. So this is the master grade here. It is approximately, I'll round up. It's about 6 inches. 6 inches long from down here to up here. This is going to be a long video, so and you can kind of see how it's has a little bit of detail and all that kind of stuff. So, second here, I'm just noticing a little. So this is the perfect grade. Now, a note with the perfect grade is that this part down here got broken. I had to glue it back on. So, its length is about 10.5 inches long. You can see it's bigger. Still has the master grade. Pretty well from the real grade on has the transformation except for the mega size. But you can see there's a ton more parts. Like a ton more parts. Within the perfect grade version. They don't call it a perfect grade for nothing. So that's pretty well the perfect grade version. Next, I will show you the mega size. The one in the back is the mega size. It's about, I want to say about 13 inches from here to here. But again, we've gone back down to the high grade, where it does not transform at all. It does have more parts though, I know that for sure. And it's just a lot more massive. Like that's a mega size is absolutely massive. Like you guys will wrap your heads around a lot easier with this video than you could with the final build, as I will be showing you guys. Basically, I'll be showing you an SD compared to it. So that's all of the shields. So now we get to move on to the Gundams themselves. So this is the SD. As you can see, there are a ton of stickers with him. Not much. The Unicorn doesn't have much color to begin with. So there's stickers here. Basically all the cycle frame is stickers. This is gold marker, permanent marker. So now he does not have not many polycaps. I think only like 2 in this whole kit. The side skirts don't have anything. Basically, that is his range of motion. Arms move up and down a bit, I believe. Not much. Unless you want the backpack to fall off. His head can go back and forth, and it can turn a little bit. But this guy here, just about 3 1/3 inches, 2/3 of an inch tall. Not much part separation. He's pretty well as you see him. That's what you get. Now this is a high grade right behind him. This guy, unfortunately, these two parts broke off because he fell at some point. Now he has no transformation whatsoever, but he does have more articulation. And he was a lot more simpler to build. So his shoulders can go back and forth a little bit. His arms have a single bend to bring his weapon up. His legs have a single bend. Actually, no, that's a double bend. There's one, there's two. So his legs have a double bend in them, which is nice. But he does have some movement here in the ankles. No side to side. And his leg can only kick out to about there. Not very far. I don't think his toes... Yeah, his toes have nothing whatsoever. No movement at all. Hands are fixed. Head has a bit more movement. You can look all the way down there, all the way up. And that's about as much side to side as you're gonna get there. Oh, no. If you force it a little bit, you can get it to turn all the way around. But this guy is a 1/144th scale. So his measurements are 6 inches. Say that's about 6 inches. So again, SD really doesn't have any scale at all, but this guy is 1/144th scale. So put him off to the side a little bit. Next we have our friend, the real grade. Now he does have a ton more motion. Like he can go into full splits here when it chooses better leg. I get his arm out of the way. So you could do that on both sides. As you can see, he does have motion here. He does have a bit of forward and back motion with his arms, which is nice. A little bit of an ab crunch, a little bit, but that's more than some kits. Has no side to side ankles. Ankles can move up and down. That's down, that's up. He does transform. His head moves about that much. Not much. Well, about the same for side to side, but his head just popped off. His elbow has a double joint, so we can bring it right up. I have a feeling that when his story happened, something happened to this leg. It never wants to stay closed. In the destroy position. So he just has a little bit of a lean going on. But anyways. This is his double jointed knee there. Which is nice. And you can just see how much more detail and everything that he has. This is a really good kit, by the way. I would recommend it. Actually, let me just... So this is one of the gimmicks of a real grade. This is from the 00 riser. As you can see, all of his inner frame is already pre-molded. So pretty well you'll cut out the pieces and slowly start to move them around. Now with this guy, he had some of his cycle frame already molded on. So like he would have like this piece here. You can, if you're looking at it in person, you can really tell that there are two different plastics. But this darker plastic here would have been the Psycho Clear Red. Then this would be the normal gray. But this is the full inner frame. He has a full inner frame. He has a full transformation. Whoops, sorry about that. And his cockpit, if I can get it, does open up. But there's no one inside of it. No Benager links. There we go. That's about as much as it opens up. So that is the real grade. That's a real grade. So let me put my high grade aside. He is the exact same height, 6 inches. He would be if he was able to fully transform. Now we're getting into the bigger guys. So this is the master grade version. As you can see, quite a big difference. Let me bring in the little SD here. So SD, high grade, real grade, master grade. This guy's the master grade. So his head does move a bit, but not quite as much. Well, if you kind of force it a little bit, it would do the same thing as the real grade. The real grade is pretty well the same stuff. Now he doesn't have much of an ab crunch at all. That's just from the transformation. Arms could go all the way around. Shoulders don't really have much movement to them. He could spin his arms all the way around. This guy could not. No, he could not do that because his inner frame for the arm is attached to the chest. So for him, again, you get that double bend. Not quite as nice as the real grades. Then his leg. That's about as far up. A lot of his articulation is going to be the same as the real grades. So that he could do the full splits. There's only this toe movement, but that's for the transformation. Ankles have a bit, but not much side to side at all. As I just pop off a piece. Oh, that's why. There we go. Oh, well, that's why there. There we go. And so the master grade. Sorry, just had to fix them a little bit there. It's about 8.5 inches tall. So next, I will have to move my camera again to show you the perfect grade and the mega size. So I'll be right back after I do that. Okay, so now that I've moved my camera back to where it was before, I can show you the perfect grade and the mega size. And just as a quick note for the articulation on the perfect grade, I will be showing my Banshee Norn Unicorn, as it does not have a light kit in it, whereas the perfect grade does. And if you bend it too much in the wrong way, it can actually break the wire and hence break, let's just say, an arm of it. So, okay. So, that right there is the perfect grade Gundam Unicorn. This is the perfect grade. So it can transform, it can do everything. Literally everything you want it to do. Color. It's really hard to see it. But if I push it the second time, it basically lights up in the nice cyclophrene color. It's really hard to tell. If I turn off the lights, it's even harder to tell for you guys. But in person, it is a little bit kind of pulsing, but pretty well this is the top of the line Gundam kit. Just as a quick note, they are actually bringing out the Exia next. Exia Perfect Grade. So, and I have already pre-ordered it. And I have pre-ordered the light up one. So, you guys will be seeing that on my channel at the end of the year, early next year. Unfortunately. Just because due to time constraints and everything. So, now because he is on a base, pretty sure it says it's somewhere on the box, but anyways, I'd rather just measure him right now. Same way I have been measuring. So from the bottom of the base, so he's about 14 and a half, 15 inches. Which, if I bring this in, this is the closest to bring the other ones up to the height of him. So there's the SD. There's the high grade. Here's the real grade with his lean. And there is the master grade. All in a line compared to the perfect grade. That is actually a really beautiful photo. So, I'll just remove those guys quickly here. And we'll move on to the final grade. Well, I'll show you quickly about the articulation. I'll probably, I'll move the camera again. So we'll be right back with the articulation of the perfect grade. But I'm really warm right now, so just got one of my USB fans going. So this guy here is the Banshee Unicorn. Perfect grade as well. So this guy, it's the same as the Unicorn. Just being really careful as this has water slide decals on it. And I decided not to top coat it. It has a cockpit. Kind of see it? It's right at the top right hand side of your screen, right here. That's the cockpit with a little figure in it. So I'm going to lie him down. So the arms do have a double bend. Just going to hold them kind of sideways here. So that's 1. That's 2. So we can hold his arm way up, just right up there. Just holding him, just because I don't want any accidents to happen to him, as he does have the Banshee claw and BS rifle. Can you see all of him? Not quite. There we go. That's a bit better. So for the ankles, I can move all the way up to about here, all the way down to about there. The toes have no movement to them. Doesn't really... Sorry, just bumped my real grade. Doesn't really have much side to side at all. But if I move this arm out of the way, just like that, he would be able to do the full splits. Or almost be able to do all. Yeah, that's about that. There's about how far you can kick out. But his front, you can kick all the way out to here, and that's just because of armor. That he can't kick farther out. Now, a very nice looking double bend there. That's the one bend. There's the second. That's 1 and 2. And this guy does transform, but I will not show that. His head can turn all the way around without his backpack on. If he had his backpack on, he would not be able to do that. You can look up very far and look down there. So that is the articulation. They do have a bicep swivel. Most grades, except for the some real grades have it, some real grades don't. Think that one might have it. Yes, actually it does have it. Same, yeah. So let me move my camera back, and we will move on to the mega. Oh wait, does he have any ab? I don't think he does. No, no abs. No ab crunch at all. So I will move the camera back, and I will show you the mega size next. Okay, so now that we're done with the perfect grade for now, let me bring out the newest edition, which is the Mega Size Gundam Unicorn. So I will have to step in front of the camera here to be able to place them down, as I need to get really far away for you guys to be able to see him. So that is the Mega Size Gundam Unicorn. He does not have a lot of articulation. There's no side-to-side movement on his ankles. There's very little front to back. I'm talking, that's about all the ankle. Arms, that's about as much it'll go up. You rotate around. His knees are on a single joint. His waist can spin. And his head can spin a full 360. Up and down a bit. But really, what the Mega Size is made for is to look intimidating as all heck. So, let me set up the final shot here of all the grades all together. So I will be right back in 1 minute. Okay, so here is the shot. So moving from the front row from left to right, it goes SD, high grade, real grade, and then master grade is behind the real grade there. And then the one on the far right hand side is the perfect grade, and on the far left hand side is the Mega Size. So when you choose your own Gundam, think about the size, for one, how much experience you've had, two, and basically set yourself a budget about how much you would like to spend on a Gundam, because as you can see, they range from really small, like 3.5 inches tall, all the way up to 15 inches in height, which is the Mega Size one. So if you want to see the full build of or any of the other final builds, didn't do the perfect grade, as well, I kind of did with my Banshee, but that was a different story. I'll leave a link to that playlist. I'll make a playlist of everything except for the Mega Size, which is still on its way. I'm working on the first episode right now, or an episode of it right now, of the full build series for that. If you are new here and you've enjoyed what you've seen, or you want to see how I built some of these guys, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see more videos just of me comparing stuff and showing you guys more review kind of stuff, hit that like button. It'll let me know to do more of this kind of stuff. And again, this has been a really long episode. I'm sorry for that. But in order for me to do this, I really had to stretch out the limits here. So thank you all again for watching. And until next time, remember to rock on.